Alright, Steemians, Papa Pepper here tonight, live from the hospital. And I'm here at the hospital because we just had our fifth child, our second boy. And praise God, everything went well. Sometimes deliveries can be scary, especially when there's a lot of blood involved and you think, am I going to lose my wife? Am I going to lose my child? And thankfully we didn't have any of that happen. So anyway, back to my advice series here. As a newer user, someone who just showed up in the Steemit community, you're trying to build your following. You're trying to gain some sort of recognition in the community. You're trying to kind of maybe carve out a certain niche or get a certain pull from the general areas in the community. One thing that you're going to need to do, besides the stuff I've talked about already, like making comments, interacting, checking out some of the chats, stuff like that, is to have a certain consistency to you. If you post once a week or so, almost nobody's going to see your posts, and almost nobody's going to be looking for your posts. If, however, you are able on a daily basis to put out something that was, able to be considered decent content, quality content, if you could do that on a daily basis, then people would get used to seeing your stuff every day. They'd get used to knowing that if they click on your username in their comment section or somewhere else, that they could find a new post from you. When I started, it was pretty much 3 to 4 posts every day for months. And that still happens often. And people could see the consistency. They knew if they clicked on mine, it was probably going to be something new, maybe a couple things, different stuff to check out, since my subjects, my content spans a wide variety. Sometimes if there was a couple ones there, that's good. Maybe not everything would interest them, so maybe there was something that would appeal to them. So to really gain ground and begin to establish yourself as a blogger, as a username in the Steemit community, I would highly recommend a certain amount of consistency. If you're only able to post every other day, then do it every other day. If you're able to do it every day, do it every day. If you can put something out in the morning and put something out at night, try that. And another thing in the realm of consistency is, you're going to want to have a certain pull, a certain draw, a certain attraction of people from the community to you, to your blog. So one thing that you could think about doing is creating a series. A series, you give people a flavor for something and you keep some more of it coming. I've done this multiple times in many different ways, and I've got some helpful advice too, because I've seen where somebody new shows up and they've got some nice stuff, and they will dump an entirely large amount of content into one post. They're a new user and they've got this one post with a whole pile of content. And some people see it, most don't. It makes a few cents here or there, and that's about that. Now I'll use an example. Let's say somebody had my top 20 flowers in my garden, and they posted pictures of their 20 different flowers, and they had descriptions of each one. Well, if they would have, instead of just dropping all that on one post, sending out there once and letting it disappear over the course of a couple days, if they would have instead said my top 20 garden flowers, flower number 1, and then at the end of that post said, stay tuned tomorrow for flower number 2. The next day they did flower number 2, said stay tuned tomorrow for flower number 3. And every day they released a picture or a couple pictures of one of their favorite garden flowers, and they gave some descriptions and maybe the scientific name and some different uses and stuff like that. And they did that, all of a sudden they've got 20 days worth of content on a consistent basis, and rather than getting an attempted payout or possible payout once off of that content, they've got 20 different days worth. It's in a series. There's a consistency, and people who get attracted to it early on can, first of all, go back and check out the previous ones, and they can stay tuned on a daily basis for the next one. You can give them a flavor for something that you're up to and make them hungry that they want more. I would highly recommend this. For a while I ran a Daily Adventures of the Last Bigfoot. It was a comic I made back in probably 2009. And I never really did anything with it, but joined Steemit, so I redid it and was releasing it on a daily basis. And people would come every day and check it out. Another one I did was I was talking a little bit. I know we had this baby at the hospital here, but I had a series called The Long Strange Journey Home, and I was just talking about home birth, home education, home church, home business, and then a homegrown food supply too. And I had these 5 different subjects I was talking about my long strange journey home. So I did, rather than just dumping that, hey, here's my long strange journey home, having my 5 points, sharing a little bit about each one, I did an introduction post. Then I did day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. I had 6 days worth of content off of that one idea. And it created, I mean, I told the people I'd try to post around the same time every night. So every night they'd come looking for the next installment of that series. So as you're trying to be consistent, as you're trying to, build your brand, your username, carve out your niche in the Steemit community, one great thing is to use something like a series to help you be consistent, to also give you more potential payout for your content, because you're splitting it up to a degree, and you're giving people a flavor for what you're up to kind of whet their palate that they want more, and they'll come check out your blog again and again and again as it continues to build and grow. I've also done some more sporadic series. I'm still writing a book called Love Like His. I've got 20 some chapters out there, and they come out periodically over time. I've got Papa Pepper's Guide to Plant Propagation. I've got The Edible Outdoors. I've got these different series out there that aren't exactly consistent, but I can link the previous ones, then anyone who's interested in that can go check out the previous stuff as well. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. Be consistent as you can without compromising your quality, and consider doing a series. If you've got a lot of thoughts about a certain subject matter, split it up into a series where you can write something. I mean, that's one thing too. All of a sudden people got like 1,000 people in their feed. People are putting out stuff like crazy. Not everyone's going to sit down and read 20 paragraphs. They're just not sometimes. But if you have a really nice put together 3-4 paragraphs, maybe a couple images, and you're sharing something, and you put out a little more of it the next day, a little more of it, and then kind of as you do that and people comment and you discuss and you progress too, it can also help refine some of your understanding. You can learn from people who are commenting on it and different things too. So it can be a blessing to you as well. So I'm Papa. Here's the little one, and we're at the hospital. Pop out. Steam on.